Hello everyone, welcome back to USA Insider. Today I will tell about every American weapon used in World War II. The philosophy of American small arms was semi-automatic fire and logistics. While Germans relied on machine guns for squad power, the U.S. aimed to give every rifleman superior firepower. Number 1. M1 Garand. Type: semi-automatic rifle. Caliber: .30-06 Springfield. The legend. General George S. Patton famously called it the greatest battle implement ever devised. Unlike the bolt-action rifles used by most other nations, which required manual cycling after every shot, the M1 gave the American GI a distinct advantage: volume of fire. Key feature: the iconic ping sound when the 8-round en-bloc clip was ejected is a sound etched into military history. Number 2. M1911A1. Type: semi-automatic pistol. Caliber: .45 ACP. The legend. A John Browning design, this heavy-hitting pistol was the standard sidearm for officers, tank crews, and pilots. Known for its stopping power, the .45 remained in service for over 70 years. Reputation: it was rugged, reliable in the mud of Europe and the sand of the Pacific, and packed enough punch to stop an enemy in their tracks. Number 3. Thompson submachine gun, M1928A1/M1A1. Type: submachine gun. Caliber: .45 ACP. The legend. Originally famous as the Tommy gun of the gangster era, the military version was stripped of the drum magazine and foregrip for combat. It was heavy and expensive to produce, but beloved by paratroopers and NCOs for its devastating close-range firepower. Number 4. M1 carbine. Type: lightweight semi-automatic carbine. Caliber: .30 carbine. The legend. Designed for support troops, mortar crews, radio operators, drivers, who found the M1 Garand too heavy. However, it became incredibly popular with front-line troops and paratroopers because it was light, handy, and carried a 15-round magazine. It was the most produced American small arm of the war. Number 5. Browning automatic rifle, M1918A2. Type: automatic rifle, light machine gun. Caliber: .30-06 Springfield. The legend. The backbone of the U.S. infantry squad. While technically an automatic rifle from World War I, in World War II it served as the squad's base of fire. Though it had a small magazine capacity, 20 rounds compared to the German MG-42, it was portable and could be fired from the shoulder or hip in an assault. Number 6. M3 grease gun. Type: submachine gun. Caliber: .45 ACP. The legend. As the war dragged on, the Thompson proved too expensive. The M3 was stamped from sheet metal, looking like a mechanic's grease gun, hence the nickname. It cost a fraction of the Thompson, fired slower, making it easier to control, and was incredibly robust. Number 7. Browning M2 May Deuce. Type: heavy machine gun. Caliber: .50 BMG. The legend. Perhaps the most enduring weapon on this list, the M2 is still in service today. Mounted on tanks, jeeps, bombers, and ships, it could shred light vehicles, airplanes, and infantry cover. It was the ultimate heavy hitter. Number 8. M9 bazooka. Type: anti-tank rocket launcher. Caliber: 2.36 inch. The legend. Named after a musical instrument used by a radio comedian, the bazooka gave the average infantryman a chance against tanks. While it struggled against the heavy German Tiger tanks later in the war, it was revolutionary for mobile anti-armor tactics. Number 9. M4 Sherman. Type: medium tank. Main gun: 75 millimeters, or later 76 millimeters. The Legend, the workhorse of the Allies. It was mechanically reliable and produced in staggering numbers, over 50,000. The trade-off. It was often outgunned by German Panthers and Tigers. However, for every Tiger the Germans lost, they couldn't replace it. For every Sherman lost, 2 more arrived. The Sherman was fast, had a powered turret, and was versatile enough to fight in deserts, jungles, and cities. Number 10. M18 Hellcat. Type, tank destroyer. Main gun, 76 millimeters. The Legend. The fastest tracked armored vehicle of the war, reaching speeds up to 55 miles per hour. U.S. doctrine separated tanks for supporting infantry from tank destroyers for hunting enemy tanks. The Hellcat used speed and shoot-and-scoot tactics to flank heavy German armor. Number 11. Willys MB Jeep. Type, light utility vehicle. The Legend. General Eisenhower listed the Jeep as one of the 3 primary tools that won the war. It was the world's first mass-produced 4x4 vehicle. It served as a command car, ambulance, ammo carrier, and machine gun platform. It is the grandfather of the modern SUV and a symbol of American mobility. Number 13. M3 Half-Track. Type, armored personnel carrier. The Legend. It had wheels in the front and tracks in the back. While it provided light protection against shrapnel and small arms, it allowed U.S. infantry to keep pace with the tanks during the rapid advances across France. Number 14. LVT, Water Buffalo. Type, amphibious vehicle. The Legend. Essential in the Pacific theater. These vehicles could swim from ships to the shore and then drive up onto the beach, climbing over coral reefs that would stop standard boats. Without the LVT, the island hopping campaign would have been nearly impossible. Number 15. P-51 Mustang. Type, long-range fighter. The Legend. The game changer in Europe. Before the Mustang, bombers flying over Germany had no fighter protection for the second half of the trip. The Mustang, with its British Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, built by Packard, had the range to fly all the way to Berlin and back. It destroyed the Luftwaffe's ability to defend the Reich. Number 16. B-17 Flying Fortress. Type, heavy bomber. The Legend. The symbol of American daylight precision bombing. It was legendary for its ability to take punishment, returning to base with engines out, tails shredded, and wings full of holes. It carried the war directly to German industry. Number 16. B-29 Superfortress. Type, heavy bomber. The Legend. The most technologically advanced aircraft of the war. It featured pressurized cabins, so crew didn't need heated suits, and remote-controlled gun turrets. Used exclusively in the Pacific, it had the range to bomb Japan from distant islands. It was the B-29's Enola Gay and Boxcar that dropped the atomic bombs. Number 17. F-4U Corsair. Type, carrier/land-based fighter. The Legend. Known for its inverted gull wing design. The Japanese called it Whistling Death. It was faster than the Japanese Zero and far more durable. It became the premier fighter for the U.S. Marines in the Pacific. Number 18. P-47 Thunderbolt. The Jug. Type, fighter-bomber. The Legend. A massive, heavy fighter with a huge radial engine. It wasn't as graceful as the Mustang, but it was a beast in a dive and incredibly tough. It became the terror of German ground troops, destroying trains, tanks, and convoys across Europe. Number 19. Essex-class aircraft carrier. Type, fleet carrier. The Legend. The backbone of the Pacific victory. While Japan couldn't replace their lost carriers, the U.S. churned out 24 Essex-class ships, They carried nearly 100 planes each and projected power across thousands of miles of ocean. Number 20. Fletcher-class destroyer. Type, destroyer. The legend, the tin can sailors. These ships were fast, versatile, and heavily armed for their size. They hunted submarines, shot down aircraft, and screened the big battleships. 175 were commissioned, making it the most numerous class of destroyer ever built. Number 21. Gato-class submarine. Type, fleet submarine. The legend. While German U-boats are famous, the U.S. submarine fleet was arguably more effective. U.S. subs strangled the Japanese economy, sinking over 50% of all Japanese merchant shipping. The Gato class offered long range and air-conditioned interiors for long patrols in tropical waters.
Number 22. Liberty ship. Type, cargo ship. The legend. Not a combat vessel, but a weapon of logistics. These ships were built in record time, sometimes in under 5 days. They carried the tanks, food, and ammo to Britain and Russia. The Axis simply could not sink them faster than America could build them. Number 23. The VT, Variable Time Proximity Fuse. Type, artillery component. The legend. One of the most closely guarded secrets of the war, second only to the A-bomb. It was a tiny radar set inside an artillery shell. Instead of hitting the ground to explode, it detected when it was near a plane or troops and detonated in the air. It made anti-aircraft fire devastatingly effective. Number 24. Mk2 grenade. Type, fragmentation grenade. The legend. The pineapple. Simple, heavy cast iron and effective. It was the standard hand grenade for clearing bunkers and trenches. Number 25. Little Boy and Fat Man. Type, atomic bombs. The legend. The Manhattan Project produced the weapons that ended the war. Little Boy, uranium, was dropped on Hiroshima, and Fat Man, plutonium, on Nagasaki. They ushered in the nuclear age and demonstrated a level of destruction never before seen by humanity.